In the opinion of many, one of the most corrupt and corrupting influencers of the day is Andrew Tate. And here's why a lot of people say that.
But the majority of my money wasn't made in fighting. My money was actually made in the pimp game. Can you look at it from my position? Pimp game. Having sex with girls is all good, but how do you get them to do as you say, make you money, obey you, allow you to cheat on them in front of their face and still love you? That's the game.
Pimps for themselves believe that they are managers of prostitutes.
The skill I'm going to teach you is exactly the same. I could easily translate mine to a street business, and you could easily street pimp with the things I'm going to teach you.
Now, as corrupt and corrupting as he might be, he can also at times make some pretty salient points. In this case, he's making a really good point and good arguments against Ben Shapiro. See what you think.
Andrew, what's that beef between you and Ben Shapiro?
Oh, there's no beef with me and Ben. There's no beef with me and Ben. I don't think he's a particularly good person. I think he's a warmonger.
Yeah.
He says there's no beef, but then he goes on to describe how there's a big beef.
Never ending.
Especially if you support what's going on in Gaza right
Oh,
now.
yeah. His stances on Gaza were unforgivable. He is currently going broke because he lost Candace and he lost Brett Cooper. And now the Daily Wire is going into,
Candace is Candace Owens. Neither Candace Owens nor the HodgeTwins have held Andrew Tate accountable for some of the crazy anti-woman, pro-controlling, narcissistic, psychopathic things that you've ever seen anybody say on the internet. And it kind of makes you wonder, why is that, Candace? Why is that, HodgeTwins?
I've heard from many sources they're about to go into administration and they have problems with Peterson. Even Peterson and him are about to get in a legal battle.
Oh, wow.
Daily Wire,
really?
Yeah. Daily Wire is completely fucked. They're completely bankrupt.
It all started with Candace.
Yeah, of course. You can't get rid of her.
Yeah.
She was their star. Mm-hmm. And then, who's the owner of the Daily Wire? He's a really interesting person. Yeah. What's his name?
Jeremy Boring.
Yeah, Mr. Boring. I'm going to start a media company.
Right.
Well, Mr. Boring's media company. Going to be a success. So you got that dipshit.
Yeah.
I think Ben's a bad person. He was super pro-vaccine, which I was ultimately against.
He was against Trump, too.
He was against Trump, and he's also a warmonger. You know,
oh, no, he's a bad person. He's against Donald Trump. There's a lot of reasons why you could call Ben Shapiro a bad person, and that's his pro-Israeli, anti-Gaza thought pattern.
I guess it's just somebody. I mean, I've had 87 professional fights. I've done my whole fighting my whole life. I finished retiring from fighting, and now I'm fighting against governments all across the world. I've done all of my fighting myself. And when I see somebody sitting behind a desk with a microphone calling for other people to go fight, when he's too much of a pussy to ever fight himself, I intrinsically just don't like him.
Yeah, didn't he vote for Hillary, too?
Oh, yeah. Fuck, he's a dipshit.
Yeah.
And
This is true. Ben Shapiro is an overt warmonger, and he wants American troops to fight on behalf of Israel.
Constantly calling for men twice his size to go and die. You go.
Yeah.
You go fight. But of course, what do we say about short people? What do we say? He's a snake. He's a fucking snake. So I don't trust him.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. And I also think that
it sounds like y'all got a beef.
Yep.
I mean, Ben was one of the main people that brought me over to conservatism. Him. I'm having a brain fart. Candace Owens.
Ben is one of the ones who brought me over to the right side of the left versus right paradigm line. Now we're all blind together.
Larry Elder. Yeah, Larry Elder. Yeah.
Well, the thing is with Ben, like he had a lot of videos that used to go viral where he'd destroy the trannies and stuff, and that was cool. But and somebody said to me, like, oh, you agree on that? Like, who doesn't agree that men shouldn't chop their dicks off? Like, fucking, I could go down to the convenience store, find a motherfucker who agrees with that. Everyone already agrees on that. But the actual important issues, it seems he's wrong every fucking time.
Yeah. And you would think he like I see him doing videos like criticizing the LGBTQ community, trans community, but in his religion they embrace that.
The Talmud is supposed to have 8 genders, isn't it?
Exactly. So why are you on YouTube and TikTok and doing all these videos criticizing, going viral for speaking out against these people when your religion embraces it?
Why don't the HodgeTwins engage Ben Shapiro about that very question? Why doesn't Andrew Tate sit down with Ben Shapiro and meet him on an ideological common ground, sit across the table from him and say, hey, here's what I got against you. You're a PUSSY, sending men to fight your battles for you.
Even then, even from a personal perspective, he has a huge problem with me because 12 years ago, I used to have a webcam studio, which I've talked about at length and explained at length, and I'll talk about again anytime because it's my history, and I'm not apologizing for anything I've ever done, ever. While he's still getting paid from APAC, which takes money from OnlyFans today.
Yeah, it's true.
So, like,
I'm not apologizing for the way I've treated women. You should really take a look at this video that I've got posted. You can go look at Nathan Livingston's channel, the Milk Bar TV, or just look at one of my recent posts on the X platform. It's pretty bad stuff. Very, very incriminating out of his own mouth. But he makes a good point here. Ben Shapiro takes money from AIPAC, who Thomas Massie says controls Congress on behalf of a foreign nation known as Israel.
he pretends he gives a shit about these things, but he's actually just super hypocritical. Right. And I just don't like hypocrites. Yeah. I don't like people who are warmongering. After October 7th, when he was saying destroy them all, kill them all, annihilate every single one, I tweeted underneath him like, bro, let's at least look for peace at least.
Right.
It's just a mark of a coward. Like, it's kind of like they say, why do pro fighters not get in street fights? Because we've seen how bad fights can go.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you've never had a fight, you think you're a tough guy because you don't know how bad fights can be.
Right.
So he's one of them, right? Mm-hmm. He's one of them who's never seen violence, never been around it, would never go near it, would piss his pants if he ever had to. Total coward, trying to talk like a tough guy, calling for violence. Right. If he'd ever seen any, he'd know better. Yeah. But he's not educated to it. So I just think he's a negative voice in the world who's calling for death and destruction. And thank fuck his voice is going broke.
That is absolutely right. He is a negative voice in the world calling for death and destruction on behalf of Israel and against America.
And him and Mr. Boring are about to lose the Daily Wire. I don't know. Like, travel America, try and find somebody who's giving them money right now. You must be out your fucking mind. Who gives a shit what they say? Yeah. You can't pay me to watch their shit. I don't even know what he says anymore. Right. The last time I spoke to him was about October 7th.
Have you seen his opinions on Derek Chauvin that Trump should pardon him?
I have no idea what Ben's saying. No.
Yeah, he's making an argument that he didn't receive a fair trial because of the publicity of the trial and all that. He said Trump should pardon him. He's trying to galvanize the conservatives behind him. That's just a pull on his
Well, I was about to say, I agree with that point. Mm-hmm. Is he trying to repair his reputation? Fuck yes, because his reputation...
See, here's the hypocrisy right here. If Andrew Tate, and it sounds like the HodgeTwins, are against Ben Shapiro for being pro-Israel, which is decidedly anti-American, then why wouldn't you be against Donald Trump for the same thing? Why wouldn't you be against the RNC, the Republican platform, for the same thing? They are 100% pro-Israel. Why wouldn't you be against Ron DeSantis is pro-Israel? Kristi Noem is pro-Israel. Tulsi Gabbard is pro-Israel. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is pro-Israel. His entire cabinet is pro-Israel, but they're going to say that they're against just Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire? What's going on here? Why are they stopping short of applying that same standard that they're rightly applying to Ben Shapiro to the rest of the Republican pro-Israel status?
In the trash. His reputation's over. I mean, I'm an accused human trafficker. My reputation's 10 times his. So the fucking...
Accused? Basically, he admits to doing it. And he got away with it.
You fucked up.
He should start trafficking women.
Yeah, she getting business. So, he's trying to...
I can't believe they just laughed about that. Listen to this.
He should start trafficking women.
Yeah, she getting business. So,
he should start trafficking women, and the HodgeTwins laugh about this? I mean, am I taking this too seriously? What am I missing here? We've got Andrew Tate, who literally says this about women.
The PhD course is my recruitment system.
PhD is a pimp and hose degree.
I'm accused of using a method of human trafficking called the lover boy method.
Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich.
I had women who would work for me and make $100,000 a year and give it all to me.
There's no such thing as having girls who work for you who you've not f***ed. It's impossible. You have to f*** them and they have to love you. It's essential to the business. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam.
Să mă treci pe mine ca și victimă, dacă eu n-am spus că sunt o victimă. Pe mâna stângă tatuajul ăsta care scrie Tate Girl.
Over Tate over everything. No one's driving my cars but me. It's like my women. Put my name on them. For life. Boom. Done.
Being who's what? Who's what?
You have
a belt because you're a jerk. Show me the bruises.
Your victims, when it comes to girl-up hints, will have visible bruising. They will have scars. They will definitely exhibit outer traumas and fear of men in general.
That's right. Lock the door, you knew I was going to beat the out of you. If you behaved, I wouldn't have to hit you, would I?
Yeah, my approach to women has always been how to get money from them. I was all about trying to get paid. Like I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. That's what I wanted. How can she leave you? If you start making loads of money and the girl thinks, well, I want to leave and do this by myself, but you have the Twitter, you have the Instagram, you have the account on your phone, she can't do nothing. All she can do is do as you say.
So if Andrew Tate admits to doing that and he doesn't apologize for it, then why are the Hodge twins saying this?
His reputation's over. I mean, I'm an accused human trafficker. My reputation's 10 times his. So the fucking, you fucked up.
He should start trafficking women.
Yeah, she getting business. So
That's the Hodge twins literally said that. He should start trafficking women so that he can get more popular like you are, Andrew. So leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know, and I'll see you in the next video.